I also know that it will take another 5 years to get a really good integrated textbook.
In 2 years, a book can turn obsolete. And this will leave us, wondering about, how come they can't get a book that's up to date? How come they wish to waste so much time? 5 years, that's a long time to be studying out of one book.
Available. We do have an obligation to provide assured, orderly operations of our school programs to all students. We intend to exert every effort and resource to provide a good program for learning and to conduct our schools in an environment of order and understanding. And I thank these young men and women from these high schools for being here this afternoon to express their concerns.
High school. I'm a senior and I'm in my last semester at Riverside. And my point about this book, The American Negro, is that it stresses no knowledge to the Negro student, and plus it brings sympathy to the Negro students of Riverside from the white students. They'll tell us, when they see us walking in the hall, well, we really sympathize with you. Tired of getting promises and telling us to wait. The students at Riverside, from what I gather, and I'll talk to a great majority of them, they're tired of waiting. They're all set on violence because they threaten with another suspension if they boycott peacefully. So our principal, in other words, he's telling us if we want to protest, he's going to have another mass suspension. And the kids at Riverside, they're tired of mass suspension without any reason. So the next time it'll be another mass suspension, it will be a mass riot at Riverside.
Like we're talking to the other officials back here. If you really wanted us to have it bad enough, you could pressure these people because they don't want to lose that bread and milk they get from the money you spend on these books. You can pressure them. You can pressure them enough to get another book if you really want us to have it that bad.
Well, what I don't understand, why they gonna make a state law that you can't adopt new books but every 5 years?
My name is John Lawrence. I'm a senior at Lincoln High School. And we had a demonstration. We had a small demonstration. It wasn't really a lot of these demonstrations are made up to be. But now, because I have a little brother that's coming up, and that'll be going to high school within 5 years. By the time he gets to high school, I want him to know something about his brother. I want him to be able to be proud of his brother. Not like I was. I walked around and wished I was white when I was a little boy. Because all I ever saw was a white man with something. All I ever knew was that the white man had something. I want my little brother to come up and know that he is somebody. Not that he has to live in the backgrounds or live in the shadows of anybody. This book is a sincere effort. This book is a sincere effort. And right now it will have to do. It will have to do. But in 5 years, I want my little brother to have something better. And I don't want it to be called a supplement. And I don't want it to have to be taught where you have to have this book and in this book, and you say, well, we'll read out of this book, or we'll learn out of this book today, and tomorrow we'll learn out of this book. Or today we'll try to learn out of both books. You cannot read and learn out of two books and learn anything coherently, or understand what you've learned, or understand what you've read, or what you've had to write questions down about. Not out of two books. It has to all come out of the same book. In other words, I want my little brother to learn how his race of people and the other races of people have functioned in early years. By early years, I mean in the 1800s, before and after, up to the 1900s, and in the later years, which is the 1900 period to the day. I want them to learn how they have functioned, how they will function, or how they must function in order to form a more complete society. I don't really know. I can't really speak for everybody. But I'll say this, that there are a lot of people doing it because they get a chance to get out of school.
Don't you feel that you...
No. No, only a metal shop teacher, only a metal shop teacher.
I wanted to know if you ever ran into a Negro teacher that what his knowledge of the Negro's contribution was, if he was adequately taught to teach you?
Well, I've never had a Negro teacher teach me American history, U.S. history, American government, or world history. But I have had teachers teach me history. And a lot of the teachers go strictly by the book, by what's in the book. They tell you that there was a Negro first killed on the Green in 1775. All right, so what? That's one man that died. All right, we know he died for a great and noble purpose, so what? This is very nice, this is very nice. But what did he contribute? What did he help the nation as a whole gain? He died one man fighting for freedom, but that's only one man. We want to know about the rest of the men. The rest of the men. I'm not saying black. I'm not specifying black. I'm saying the rest of the men, period.
Accepted this American Negro history book was for the sole reason that there is no integrated textbook at the time that is adequate to fulfill our means. And we're not going to say that we're going to accept this from here on to doomsday. We're saying we're accepting this for now. Sure, we know that it was inadequate when we first adapted it, but it also helped us. At least it put the black man in the classroom. And this is better than not having any classroom at all, as some people were advocating. And to a question that was raised earlier about how do you feel after we do get the adequate textbook, will there be more racial disturbance? Well, you know there's going to be more racial disturbance. It's got to be, because there's a lot of other problems that have to be fixed too, such as Negro cooks in the cafeteria, such as North Division needs to be torn down and a new school should be built like Madison and Hamilton that was built in the last 2 years, because we're getting sick of these two North Division being downgraded all the time. And I'm from Rufus King High School, and it's a very well-established high school. But it's being downgraded because it's turning into all Negro or whatnot, whatever you want to say. And another thing we have to go into is these schools such as Custer, Marshall, that don't want the textbooks in the first place, so they push them off on the Negro students in the inner core until there's outscored schools such as Lincoln. And Lincoln is no more an inner core school than John Marshall is because it's on the east side. But it's still, you establish this as an inner core school. Why? Because it's predominantly Negro. This is wrong. And I want to ask the question of Mr. Rump. My father told me that he has learned from an integrated textbook in the South. And you said that there is no such, or not to your knowledge there is no such. Well, how could this be when he learned from a textbook? Is this textbook extinct now or something? Which I doubt. It's got to be in the library somewhere.
Interest. There have been a number of calls from people. They've suggested various titles. Those titles that we have in the curriculum library I have polled and studied. I think we're getting into an area here as to what constitutes an integrated text. I think this is an important question. Some publishers tout their book as being integrated because they have inserted a few photographs and a few comments about Negroes or Mexican Americans or some other minority group. Does this really constitute the type of book we're talking about? And I think what I stated earlier was that in my judgment there isn't a single book available at the present time that is going to satisfy our needs as defined by pupils, principals, teachers, and the community at large.
It's not detailed enough. That's the main problem, and it's not, we want an integrated book. We don't want a book that's a black book and a white book. We want it integrated. We go to an integrated school. We want integrated education. It's not just, it's a necessity now. It's needed. That's our main problem. That's all I have to say.
Nothing more. Thank you. For the concerned students of North, which is 99% of 99% black people there. And the issue I like to discuss is one of you gentlemen asked that will this demonstration stop because if we receive the textbooks and the supplements that we asked for, well, I don't think there's enough hours in the day to discuss our problems in North Division, and all of you know that here. And myself, I'm very proud to go there. And I feel as equal as any student from Pulaski or any South Side with the same education that I have. And that the main problem we have is that we are 99% black, and almost everything we have there is white. And everything we want, we have to ask for. We shouldn't have to, in the first place, we shouldn't have to ask for these books. Because if we had a school board that was concerned, they would give us this